Watch out! Okay. You got nowhere to go.
There's a bike each. We need all four for the job. When you've got them, stash them in the alley for the job. Sounds like the Lost are mobilizing their troops. A wrecked bike is no good to us, people. Stay out in front of them. I think you're in the clear. Drop the bikes in the alley, and we're nearly a go.
Look out! I'm gonna kill you and then go play!
Okay. So, are you ready? This should be pretty easy. I've kept it simple since you all seem pretty simple in a good way. In a good straight ahead, low IQ kind of. Oh no, let's do. Stop it. It's the new meds. Okay, armed robbery. Here we go. Whew. Here it is. Keep it simple. You go in heavy. You go in well armed. Some of you will do crowd control. The vault team will go downstairs, blow the first vault door with the thermal charges. Then use the card to get into the network and open the second vault door. And then look out, because you'll have about 2 minutes before every cop in town is waiting for you outside the bank. So you move fast. You get on the bikes. You split. And then we meet at the rendezvous point, okay? Good luck, people. Nothing can go wrong. It's all good. I'm all good. Huh.
Alright, here we go. The one we've all been waiting for. Alright, put your masks on when you get in the bank, then crowd control. You're on, well, crowd control. You get in their faces, shout at them, shoot near them if you have to. Just try not to kill them. Mind you, that wouldn't be cool. Demolitions, Haggard, your first job's to subdue the guards. Again, try and do it without killing them. Now, when that's done, go downstairs and hit the vault. I've given you special carbines with suppressors. Use them wisely. Like I said, this is a big deal, people. Don't fuck it up. That's it. The vault door's opening. Demolitions, use the remaining thermal explosives on the titanium gates in the vault.
Someone help us!
Only in Vinewood.
Boom! You're in! Get all the cash you can carry!
Shit! This ain't cool!
Why is it always me?
Okay, now regroup back on the main floor.
Just perfect! These pricks!
This is fucked!
I need you to stay together. Come out of the bank, take a left down Vinewood Boulevard, and duck down the alley to the right. If you let the cops hit you, you're gonna lose cash. That's coming out of your cut, not mine. Go, 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 go! Keep going down the alley. Now, further down the hill, take a right. All right, now you're going across the road to the next alley. Now, make a play for the bikes. They're up ahead where you stashed them behind that apartment building. We've left some body armor by the bikes if you need it. Grab and go, people. Grab and go.
Go for it! I'll cover you! God damn it!
You gotta go through the checkpoints, bro.
Used by the kidnapper and traced it back to an email.
We gotta go all the way down into the little alleyway
The search area to the
and
extent
hit that checkpoint.
Clarksburg. Ben had been struggling to finish the piece of music he was playing. Suddenly, he saw his mother's face begin to bleed, and then her entire face transformed into how she looked in the car accident. He was terrified.
You got the maximum money. All we need to do is go.
I need you to stay together. Come out of the bank, take a left down Vinewood Boulevard, and duck down the alley to the right.
Oh, down this way, down this way. Pop armor. Oh, this is not good. Come on, bro, you can make it. You got it. Okay. Now, if you press L3, you can do a speed boost on these bikes. Y'all ready? Here we go. Watch out for traffic. Oh, please be careful. Got you. Got this, buddy. Be on it. Burgosh. Whoa! Slick. How? What? Dad. Come on, bro. Keep going. Remember, use the boost. L3. Got this money. Oh, this is so our money. Woo! Oh my God. We got it. We got it. We own it. Get in the dirt. I got a warm. Oh, here's the dangerous part.
trusted Olivia was that John
I got shot and panicked because I was on red.
was all Olivia's imagination. However, at that moment, George was also drugged.
We can do this. We can do this.
John came to his room and slit his throat. But when the nurse entered the room, she didn't see anyone else, just George's throat being slowly cut open. The nurse screamed.
We on the
In
bikes.
the evening, Olivia sought out the doctor, wanting to re-enter the sensory deprivation tank. She had numerous questions that perhaps only John could answer. But out of concern
Damn, we made it
for her
far.
mental health, the doctor rejected her request.
Whew, we got this.
Olivia woke up to find her computer mysteriously turned off. It was an email from John saying that he saw her at the restaurant. The 10th episode begins with the vault of the Philadelphia Mutual Savings Bank being infiltrated by thieves led by a criminal gang of 5 utilized advanced technology.
Use the bike to get away from the cops and to get upstate. You left the dinghy at Red Canyon. That's your exit plan. There's a route coming to your GPS now. It'll take you off-road, away from the cops, and towards our boat. Stay together or go a different way if you want, but this will be the safest route. Remember, the bikes have KERS. They store up energy to accelerate when you brake. Should help put some room between you and those red and blues. Come on, move! Just go! There's nothing good behind you. You get away from the city, and you get away from the cops. Right about now, the CEO of PAC Standard is calling the mayor. He's probably patched in the chair of the Union Depository, and they're all about to tear the ass out of the chief of police. Cops in the street waiting by the elevator to bring you down. You don't need to worry about that. Just get to Rapid Canyon. I got a plan. Some of that heavy dye packs gone off in the bags? No, because you'd be covered in paint. No? That means the transponder's marked. Thank you, Bobby Schwarzman. You know when you have lots of time? When you're put in jail for robbing a bank and putting down a load of cops. You only have time right now. Get down as much as you can. Keep going, keep going. Don't worry about the cops. Worry about getting to the canyon.
out with a tranquilizer drug and fell to the ground. When she woke up, she found herself in a hospital.
We both did the same. We gotta get off the bikes before we jump. That's what we gotta do.
3 women and whom she had brought to court and convicted. Seeing Harris, she understood that this bald man bore a grudge against her. This time, assigned by the Department of Homeland Security to supervise...
He's gonna make us do all that shit over
Harris
again.
had a blatant chance for revenge. Afterwards, Olivia returned to her office. Charlie said that he had taken people to the place where she had been tied up.
Oh my god.
The gun she had grabbed at the time only had her fingerprints on it, but she tried
Hey, we did it once, we can do it again. It's all good. We gotta stay off road, is all.
outside Harvard University in Then she led
Take the highway. You know what I mean? We'll get that cricket.
Use the bikes and wait for the cops to get upstate. We left the dinghy at Rat Canyon. That's your exit plan. There's a route coming to your GPS now. It'll take you off-road away from the cops and towards our boat. Stay together or go a different way if you want, but this will be the safest route.
Richie, my friend?
Go, 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 go! Remember, bikes have KERS. They store up energy to accelerate when you brake. Should help put the road between you and the traffic.
What are you doing, bro? I died. That was on me.
It wasn't until Olivia revealed her Olivia then reported back to Philip. Apparently, the Center for Disease Control had offered Professor Kinberg a new job.
It's easier on the bikes, bro. I'm telling you.
He was
Stick to the plane.
responsible for
Oh no.
and he wasn't the only scientist invited. Another was Professor Russell from Cambridge University. Olivia believed Russell would be the next target and must be protected. At this point, Dr. Walter had confirmed that the slug that killed Professor Kinberg and the evidence taken from the kidnappers were genetically identical. They inferred that the murderers of the professor and the kidnappers of Olivia were the same group. Olivia speculated that someone might be planning to unleash an epidemic. Otherwise, why would they kill an expert in epidemics? Philip agreed with her view and told her to proceed. Olivia and Charlie then set off to Cambridge to escort Professor Russell, which was over...
Big matchup this week. I can't begin to imagine what's going through his mind. Let's get it. I lost my 16 passing the ditch and deep high, no another challenger. I get some numbers with me in the breaks, get cozy, play some catalogs. Either way, Joe Burrow is hip.
I feel like I'm losing control. My screaming, my night terrors, my sleepwalking.
by Mitchell. They quickly brought Russell back to the Investigation Bureau. However, Harris pulled Olivia aside, accusing her of wasting taxpayers' money. She was frustrated, but she pleaded with him, saying that Professor Russell might die if he didn't receive FBI's protection, so she needed Harris to do the right thing. Harris agreed. Peter then told Olivia that the thing that came out of Professor Kinberg's mouth was activated by liquid. The yellow powder in the stolen test tube was eggs, and stomach acid was the catalyst. So as soon as the victim injected it, it would grow rapidly. And just at this moment, Mitchell poured the yellow powder into water, compared it to concluded that this slug was, in fact, a rhinovirus. At its enormous size, it was still a single-celled specimen of a common cold virus. Peter explained that someone had enlarged the cold virus. Clearly, they were playing games with them. They were putting on a show, using a cold virus to kill an epidemic expert. The next day, Olivia noticed Mitchell's shoes stained with the red spots. She recalled that these were the very shoes the masked man was wearing when he performed the spinal tap. This discovery sent chills down her spine. She secretly sought Charlie's help, and Charlie, being part of law enforcement, couldn't intervene, so she had to ask Peter to wiretap Mitchell's home phone. Olivia went to Mitchell's house alone just as she was about to put the lock. Mitchell's wife. She invited her in, and while making tea, she secretly called her husband. Mitchell instructed her to seize the opportunity to kill Olivia. On the other side, Olivia had surreptitiously opened the desk drawer and found a folder. Pictures of the rhinovirus popped out of it. Peter, who was eavesdropping, immediately called to warn her that Mitchell's wife was trying to kill her. Olivia, now alert, shot her in the head before she could act, causing her to die. And when she returned to office, Mitchell had already run away. Peter said Mitchell didn't know about his wife's death, so they could stake out near his house and use his wife's phone to bait him. The plan worked, and they successfully captured Mitchell, but he refused to admit anything. Olivia then showed him a photo of his wife's corpse, intentionally enraging him. He confessed, but shockingly told Olivia that they kidnapped her just to protect her. Instead, they saved her, and she didn't know anything. His words didn't seem like a lie, which left Olivia confused. She didn't understand what Mitchell meant by saying they had saved her. Peter comforted her without a kiss, saying that Mitchell was just trying to confuse her because she had just killed his wife. The father and son advised Olivia to go home and rest. That night, she fell into a deep sleep, hugging her niece. The 12th episode shifts to a young boy, Gregory, ending a phone call with his friend when a message popped up on his computer. Curious, he clicked OK. A series of changing images appeared on the screen, captivating Gregory's attention. So much so, he didn't even hear when his mother spoke to him. He was so engrossed that he was moved to tears. Then a terrifying hand reached out from the screen, lunging towards his head. The next day, Olivia and Charlie visited the deceased Gregory's home to understand the situation. According to his mother, the boy's lifestyle was normal, and he was just like any other night, sitting in front of the computer, playing games, downloading songs, and chatting with friends. Dr. Walter announced after his examination that Gregory's brain had been liquefied. Upon inspecting Gregory's computer, the assistant discovered that the hard disk had been melted. Later, Olivia sought out Gregory's friend, Luke, to understand the situation better. Upon hearing the news of his friend's death, Luke was devastated. He said that their fathers had worked together, so they knew each other since childhood and had been friends ever since. At this point, the car sales company reported another victim named Anton. His death was similar to Gregory's, with his brain liquefied and leaking out. The witness was his co-worker, who described Anton as an honest man with 3 children. There was no special event before the incident. Back in the lab, the assistant told Olivia that the hard disk in Anton's computer was completely melted, just like Gregory's. From the files that could be retrieved, both computers had downloaded a large file before crashing. However, it would take a few days to trace the source of the file. Upon hearing this, Peter unplugged the hard drive and sought help from his IT friend. The friend explained that the program was extremely complex, containing embedded audio and video and some elements that weren't computer code, but parallel packet forwarding routes. Clearly, whoever uploaded the program went to great lengths to cover their tracks. Although the IT friend couldn't find the source, he found out that someone was currently downloading the file, and their address happened to be Olivia's home. Peter immediately called to inform her. At this moment, Olivia's young niece, Ella, was playing a coloring game on Olivia's computer. Olivia was racing home in her car, trying to call her sister, but her sister was in the kitchen preparing dinner and didn't hear the phone ring. By now, Ella had clicked on a video and was staring at it curiously. She was gradually being hypnotized, and a monstrous hand was reaching out from the screen. Just in the nick of time, Olivia burst through the front door, followed closely by Peter. Little Ella was staring blankly ahead and took a long time to snap out of it. Afterwards, Ella said she saw a weird, glowing hand reaching out from the screen, which was very scary. Olivia rushed to the computer and noticed that the webcam light was still on. The culprit at the other end of the computer was watching Olivia. This man was none other than Luke's father. After learning that all of Ella's vital signs were normal, Olivia breathed a sigh of relief. She said the person who planned this might be watching them through the computer. Although it sounded far-fetched, a computer program had indeed killed people. Meanwhile, another case of brain liquefaction had occurred in the suburbs of Chicago. Dr. Walter told Olivia that he had figured out the cause of death. It was a complex mix of visual and subsonic auditory stimuli, cleverly designed to amplify the electrical impulses in the human brain and trap it in a deadly loop. As for the hand that When every second counts, ADT self-setup with video verification helps police respond faster, so you get help sooner. You can even request help with just a tap.
We have a verified alarm.
Okay. Suspect apprehended.
Okay. Well, good. It's being taken care of.
With ADT's award-winning smart monitoring, you have a home with no worries. Brought to you by ADT. Saw reaching out from the computer screen, it could be a hallucination caused by brain stimulation, but further research was needed. At this point, the assistant had brought the latest victim's information. According to his background, the deceased victim was Luke's stepfather. The odds of Luke being connected to both victims were too small, unless Luke was the murderer. But when Luke heard about Gregory's death, he was truly saddened. He also mentioned that he knew the victims because their fathers had been colleagues. Soon, Olivia and the assistant agreed that Luke's father, Brian, was a major suspect. He had worked for Gregory's father in the past and was fired 6 years ago. It was known that Brian was a programmer, and when he was fired, he was furious. Moreover, the deceased Luke's stepfather had married Brian's ex-wife, and their divorce had been very contentious. The relationship between Anton and Brian was yet to be investigated. Olivia and Charlie couldn't find Brian, so they brought his son Luke in for questioning. Harris urged Olivia to use methods to force Luke to confess, but after a simple questioning, Olivia let him go. Olivia then followed Luke to his father's hideout. Luke tearfully asked his father why he had killed these people. Agitated, Brian said that these people didn't give him a chance. By this time, Olivia had opened the door to the equipment room, but Brian and his son were gone. All the screens in the room played the terrifying murder video. Brian appeared from behind Olivia, gun in hand, emotionally held it to his own chin, claiming it was their fault. He just wanted them to taste the pain they had caused him. Regardless of the advice, he stared at his masterpiece on the screen in despair and pulled the trigger. Luke, scared by the sight of his father's death, tried to flee but was caught by Harris, who was from the Department of Homeland Security. Later, Harris went to Philip's office to complain that Olivia had blatantly disobeyed orders, let Luke go, and attempted to catch the suspect without backup. Philip, however, retorted righteously, saying that even though Harris made things difficult for Olivia, she still solved the case, and Harris was abusing his power to vent personal anger. If Harris continued to be obstinate, he would rather lose his job than not protect her. The 13th episode takes place on Flight 718. Amid the hum of the plane's engines, a scholarly-looking man starts bleeding from his nose. He rushes to the restroom, mixes his saliva with a reagent in a vial, and to his horror, the solution turns blood red. He seeks the help of a flight attendant, asking for sedatives, explaining that there's something wrong with his health. Although skeptical, the attendant relays emergency procedures to him and leaves him in the restroom. Unexpectedly, his teeth start falling out, followed by agonizing screams. Bizarrely, sharp spikes protrude from his back, and he transforms into a gigantic hedgehog-like creature, bursting out of the restroom. Following this, the plane crashes. Members of Fringe Division arrive at the crash site at once, locating the monstrous man. Dr. Walter turns him over for examination, concluding that he must have undergone some form of mutation to transform into such a state. Olivia scans through the passenger details and soon recognizes the man as Marshall, having encountered him in John's memories. She collects all available information about him, convinced that he is the suspect, the hedgehog monster to meet. They need to bring him in for questioning. Charlie, puzzled, asks if it's another one of her intuitions. She quietly tells him that she connected with John's memories with the help of the doctor. Some of John's memories are imprinted in her mind. Images of the two of them working together flash through her mind, affirming her belief. By evening, Peter confirms to her through blood testing that the monster is indeed Marshall. Dr. Walter theorizes that he was infected with a certain artificial virus. Whoever did this must have mastered some cutting-edge genetic technology to completely alter Marshall's DNA. Even if the plane hadn't crashed, he would have been doomed due to such a transformation. Additionally, Peter found a red glass disc in the palm of his left hand. Soon after, Charlie brings in Daniel for questioning. Olivia shows him a photo of the monster, identifying it as Marshall. However, Daniel denies knowing Marshall. As he is speaking, he too starts bleeding from his nose. Seeing this, Dr. Walter urgently calls for Peter to bring sedatives. Daniel bleeding worsens and he cries out for help. Seizing the opportunity, Olivia forces him to admit that the poisoner's name is Conrad. After revealing this, he faints. The doctor brings him back to the lab and concocts an antidote. Looking at the unconscious Daniel, Olivia finds another glass disc in the palm of his hand. She takes it to Philip to inquire about its purpose and requests to view her boyfriend's body, believing that John too had one of these objects in his hand. Philip takes her to Massive Dynamics, stating that it is the largest contractor for the Department of Defense, capable of developing next-generation technology that surpasses that of the U.S. government. She then sees John's body. Nina remarks that he looks alive, but that's not the case. If the host's body is completely damaged, the disc in the palm would self-destruct. They had tried to read the disc's information using his body, blood, and DNA, but only a small amount of information was deciphered. The information revealed that John was part of a bioterrorist organization. Philip continues, saying the information mentions a scientist named Conrad who specializes in designing biological weapons for black market trading. They have received a tip that he will be conducting a significant weapons deal in Chicago soon, but the exact time and location are unknown. Olivia asks Peter to prepare the sensory deprivation tank. If John and Conrad were in cahoots, she is sure she can find the answer in John's memories. Thus, she immerses herself in the tank once again. In a daze, she arrives in front of a house. John says Conrad is a devil who can create horrifying biological weapons and sell them to the highest bidder. He points to himself standing on a rooftop in the past, saying he didn't know Conrad then, or he would have never let him slip away. That was his most important mission, and he failed. John further reveals that Marshall, Daniel, and he were all government agents, part of a secret task force under the National Security Agency. However, he couldn't prove his identity because it was a black box operation with no recorded history. Olivia doesn't believe him and asks him to reveal Conrad's trading location. John tells her to ask Daniel, as he would know more. After saying this, he disappears. Peter urges her to consider carefully. What if John is deceiving her and wants to harm her? But the assistant encourages her to trust her intuition. In the end, she decides to trust John and asks Dr. Walter to inject Daniel with the antidote to wake him up. Daniel agrees to cooperate with the FBI. Meanwhile, Philip informs the officers that other agents have apprehended several potential buyers of the bioweapons at the airport that morning. However, the suspects are refusing to cooperate. Olivia prepares to pose as a buyer to deal with Conrad's subordinates. To ensure the deal is not exposed, Daniel will relay all necessary details through an encrypted, untraceable radio implanted in advance. Charlie will assist with surveillance. At this point, the target has appeared at the entrance of the transaction hotel. Peter, concerned for Olivia's safety, insists on accompanying her. With Daniel's help, the transaction initially goes smoothly. However, the seller suddenly mentions that his boss, Conrad, wants to meet Olivia. Daniel, on the other end of the phone, is struggling. He begins to bleed profusely from his nose and loses teeth. Dr. Walter has no choice but to inject him with a sedative. As a result, when the seller throws out another probing question, the unconscious Daniel is unable to respond, and the atmosphere becomes tense. Peter turns Conrad and his crew. Upon investigation, it is discovered that Conrad is also linked to 6 other bioweapon cases. Philip states that despite this, they still can't prove John's innocence. However, this no longer matters to Olivia because she knows the truth. After Daniel is injected with Conrad's antidote, his condition rapidly improves. Olivia asks Dr. Walter to let her return to the sensory deprivation tank. The doctor tells her that her consciousness has successfully driven out John's. Even if she could connect with him again, it would probably only last a few minutes, and then she will never see him again. Regardless, Olivia enters the tank once more and reunites with John. She apologizes for doubting him, but John doesn't mind. He presents her with a heavy diamond ring and places it on her finger. After a tongueless kiss, John disappears forever without traces of his smelly hormones. The 14th episode shifts to Jones murdering his own lawyer inside a German
Okay. So,
All right, here we go. The one we've all been waiting for. All right, put your masks on when you get in the bank. Then crowd control. You're on, well, crowd control. You get in their faces. Shout at them. Shoot near them if you have to. Just try not to kill them. Mind you, that would be cool. Demolitions, hacker, your first job's to subdue the guards. Again, try and do it without killing them. Then when that's done, go downstairs and hit the vault. I've given you special carbines with suppressors. Use them wisely. Like I said, this is a big deal, people. Don't fuck it up.
name.
Bro, you don't want to help?
Same as the name written down by the board. Back at the office, Charlie briefs everyone. The perpetrator, nicknamed the Artist Killer, first began committing his crimes 3 years ago.
Probably missing out on a lot of money.
Living in the Jamaica Plain area before laying low. His modus operandi involves abduction and sedation, killing his victims.
I hope he's still playing, bro. He's probably not playing.
Tubes and chemicals, according to his own vision. He also said.
Of course we're getting robbed! Gonna see!
Keep going, keep going. Don't worry about the cops. Worry about getting to the canyon. It'll take you through the forest, around the hills, toward the canyon. And to get upstate. We left a dinghy at Ratton Canyon. That's your exit plan. There's a route coming to your GPS now. It'll take you off-road, away from the cops, and towards our boat. Stay together or go a different way if you want, but this'll be the safest route. Remember, the bikes have KERS. They store up energy to accelerate when you brake. Should help put some road between you and those red and blues. Go, 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 go!
Dispatch, we have a suspect on a motorcycle.
Don't look back, just go! There's nothing good behind you. You can
route. Air support en route.
It'll take you through the forest, around the hills, toward the canyon.
Holy shit!
We've got an advantage on the cops right now, but it won't last for long. So let's make it count, people. Move before they figure out what happened.
Now the only way is to create an antidote. Fortunately, he has now regained the virus sample and has the hope to create an antidote. With the consent of her supervisor, Olivia brought Boone to Dr. Walter's lab and asked the doctor to assist Boone in developing. This time, the missing car of the deceased Bob was found. Near where the car was discovered, Peter and Olivia found another man who had been drained of spinal fluid. After the two bodies were returned to the lab, the assistant smelled a strong alcohol scent on the bodies, concluding that the deceased must have drunk alcohol before death. From the special marks on the backs of the two bodies' hands, it was determined that they were entry marks from a nightclub. But at this moment, the test mice for the antidote died, and Boone needed more time to develop the antidote. He pleaded with Olivia to bring his wife back alive, assuring he could cure her. Boone realized the problem and asked Dr. Walter to extract his spinal fluid and add it to the antidote. The doctor disagreed, as Boone had already lost too much spinal fluid, and doing so would cause a brain hemorrhage, which would be too dangerous. But Boone was certain that he had been careful to monitor, and it was still safe to extract another 25 milliliters. Seeing that he was determined, the doctor agreed. At this moment, Olivia and others arrived at the nightclub. Peter used a thermal imager to find Valerie, and Charlie stunned her with a tranquilizer gun. Suddenly, the assistant found that Boone had started to convulse. The doctor understood that Boone, in order to save his wife, tricked him into extracting too much spinal fluid. By evening, Olivia and Peter brought Valerie back to the lab. Dr. Walter injected the antidote containing Boone's spinal fluid into the back of Valerie's neck. Upon seeing this, Boone, with his last breath, thanked Olivia. Immediately afterward, Valerie began to scream and convulse, then fell into a coma. The doctor pulled open her eyelids and saw her strange blue eyeballs slowly returning to normal. He knew the antidote was working, but Boone had closed his eyes. He peacefully passed away. Everyone present felt sorrowful for Boone's departure. Afterward, Dr. Walter took out a videotape, which was also entrusted to Olivia by Boone before his death. In the video, Boone said he had made many mistakes in his life, and if possible, he hoped Olivia could help correct some of them. That night, Olivia met with Philip in a coffee shop. She said what Boone had left behind did not mention Jones, but it did mention a name they were both familiar with. This person sponsored ZFT, and he was the chairman of the Massive Dynamic, Dr. Bell. The 19th episode begins with a young woman anxiously getting on a bus. As soon as she settled into her seat, the window beside her fogged up with condensation, and the newspaper of the passenger in front of her suddenly ignited. Sensing that something was amiss, she asked the driver to stop and got off the bus. She gasped for air, asking passers-by for help. Her face reddened dramatically, and she suddenly burst into flames, the blaze reaching sky high. In recent days, Dr. Walter has been studying the ZFT Manifesto. He discovered that it was written by Dr. Bell, the boss of Massive Dynamic, but he refuses to believe that Bell would carry out such horrifying acts. Moreover, he noticed that the manifesto was incomplete. He suspected that someone removed the sections related to moral norms to satisfy their own evil intentions. The original draft might still be in the lab. The Fringe team quickly arrived at the scene. They didn't find any accelerants, or Dr. Walter was also initially clueless. They transported the body back to the lab for further analysis. However, Olivia saw two bodies at the scene, wondering whether it was just her hallucination. She kept quiet about it. Later, when she reported excessive flossing on her teeth, she tried searching in the database and surprisingly found a matching victim named Susan. Soon, Olivia and Charlie arrived at Susan's house to investigate. A check for $30,000 and a bathroom damaged by fire caught their attention. Dr. Walter then overturned his previous hypothesis about spontaneous combustion. He thought of pyrolysis, a new ability Susan had acquired, which needed training. If she didn't control the heat source produced outside her body well, the energy would turn inward. Susan had become a powder keg because she failed to control this. Emotional stress or any form of high anxiety could ignite her. At that moment, Charlie called. He found out that the check was sent from a law firm. However, by the time he and Olivia arrived, the place was deserted. But they heard Susan's message on the phone. As Olivia stepped out of the building, she was met with a wave of gloom. A fire truck sped past, and a building in the distance was billowing black smoke. The government linearly, but every choice we make leads to a new reality. Hallucination memory is a glimpse of another life. Our feeling of deja vu is because we have indeed been there in another reality. But Olivia suspected that it was caused by the cortexiphen she took as a child. At this time, the assistant discovered a website called Galactic Truth, which posted a photo of another victim who died in the same manner as Susan. Olivia and Peter rushed to visit the owner of the website, who said that 3 weeks ago, an American graduate student was attacked while on vacation in Hungary. But he believed it had something to do with Dr. Bell of Massive Dynamic. He accused Bell of creating super soldiers to resist the Lumilans, who were trying to alter the course of the timeline. Back in the office, Olivia experienced another hallucination. The ringing phone on the desk suddenly turned red, and her colleagues were all busy with their work. Charlie said that half of Boston was under martial law and quarantined. The two